Hey, this is Jay with Torn Pages Jewelry. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to send this all out to my brothers and sisters and across all the villages in the global area. I'm going to show you how to make the crosses right here. So, what you're going to need is you're going to need a cutting board. All right. You're going to need a ruler. You're going to need some glue. You're going to need a razor, some tape, and definitely some sticks. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make a cross, all right, for the beaded necklaces with paper. Anyways, I just want to welcome all my brothers and sisters all across the villages, across the world, and how you're going to have a hand in this and touching your lives and touching the world's life by what you're crafting and putting together. And I just want to thank you and send blessings and prosperity upon you and your people. I look forward to really blessing you with a way to make a livelihood in this country, in your country. All right, let's get started. First off, here are the supplies you're going to need. You're going to need a cutting board. Let's say you're going to need a razor. You're going to need tape. You're going to need glue. You're going to need sticks, right? You're going to need some sort of string. We're going to be using floss today. Definitely a ruler and some paper. So those are the supplies you're going to need. All right. All right. I just want to show you what the crosses would look like. For the bracelets, right? It's going to be a 1-inch cross, right, by 1/2 inch coming across in the middle right there. So you're looking at 1.5 inches by 1 inch. Now for the necklaces, right, it's going to be 2 inches by 1 inch. So that's the finished product. And that's what we're going to look like after we're finished. All right. All right. For today's purposes, I'm going to show you how to do it on a big cross so you can see how the paper's wrapped and everything else. The first thing you need to do though is you need to get some sticks, right? So you get a stick and you get the first part right here. Second part is you go ahead and put some tape on the cutting board because you're going to need tape to do the job. And you cut the tape in thin sections, right? Sort of like this. Don't have to be perfect. Cut them in thin slices like this. All right, about 3 each. And you cut them in a length, right? I'll show you how all that works. First off, then you're gonna need a piece of string. The string is a loop on top. So what you have is you grab this piece of tape like this, right? Put the long cross on it right here, like that. You get the string for the loop, and you put the loop right here, just above, right there, and then you twist it so it stays secure. So now you got one base. Now you grab the second one. Put it across in the middle to hold it, right? Put it in the middle, not halfway, but right there in the middle where it looks like a cross, the semblance of a cross. You flip these over, and then boom, you have the base of the cross, right? A little bit longer. So you get the base of the cross that's secure, right? That's just secure, but it needs to be sturdy. So what you do now is you take one piece of tape and you wrap it upon each post to make this cross secure. You don't want it wobbly like this. You want it secure. So you have firm foundation for the paper to wrap around. So you got that. So that's what we're doing. We're wrapping each piece to make the cross secure so it has a base for the paper to go around. That's all we're doing. Eventually we're going to have plastic ones, but for right now, just for purpose's sakes, I'm just showing you how to do this so you know how to wrap the paper and to make a cross. So you do all that, you wrap each side until you're through with each one, right? And it becomes secure. We need to make it look like this. So we're going to have to make the cuts to wrap around. So it's almost like a bead cut. pretty much exactly like a bead cut, right? You have to cut five pieces of strips for each side, but the bottom piece, because it's longer, has to have 2 pieces. So you make the cuts. They don't have to be perfect, but they have to be close, right? Looks like this. Cut each one at the angle. Cut each one at the angle, right? Oh. So your eventual cut will look just like that for each one. Because what you want to be able to see all the colors coming down. That's why you have to cut it at an angle. So you want to be able to see all the beautiful colors that's in your cross that will match the other beads that are in the necklace. So that's very, very, very important. Okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to wrap each post, but it's got to be at a certain angle. You got to have this pointing out because you want to be able to wrap it a certain way. And all you're doing, you hold the first piece right here and you wrap it tight all the way around. And as you come up, right, you want to make sure it's tight and snug. See that? See how I'm wrapping that around? See how the angle is it? You can get a real up close on that. So it's almost like it's made out of wood. But you can see that it's just coming up, coming up, coming up. Boom. Just like that. So it has a fat angle at it. Then you put a piece of glue, as you know, with the beads. Okay. And you secure it. Now it's secure for later waxing. Then you go ahead and trim this piece and you're through. Now you get each piece and you do that exactly. Make sure when you're coming that it's on the outside because it gives you the best angle for what you're trying to do. Again, put it right here so you can hold it and you wrap it around snug. You want to build the base 2 or 3 times, right? Then you want to gradually start building it out. Gradually want to start building the edge of each cross out. So when it comes out, right? That you have, see all that? See all that angle right there that you got? Hopefully you get a good clear cut. You can get a close up and then secure it. Okay. Once again, you put it in the middle. You hold it with that finger and you wrap. You wrap it snug. Pull it snug without pulling the paper. 3 or 4 times. Build it. Wrap it snug again. And you just start building the width of the cross out. As you can see, right? I'm trying to show you. You see that little angle right there, right? Each one is what you're trying to do. So, when you get to the end, glue it. Okay. So, you through with it, right? Tear that piece off, do something like this. Now we'll go for the last 2. Now the bottom part, since it's longer, it's going to take 2 pieces because you want the long piece of the cross. It just looks so much better. You know, short top, middle piece, and then a long piece at the bottom. So what we do here, once again, right here, build it out. This is important right here for the cross. Right? And this one, you can start building out a little bit more. All right. So bring it in. So you got that piece. Now it needs one more piece. So you get the piece. You have to glue it so it adhere to this bottom part. And you start about, you have to find it, but you start about halfway down, maybe 3/4 of the way down, right there. See? And you make sure it's snug, it holds, right? And you just start wrapping. Okay? And you bring the other piece out. You can see how this is? You have to wrap this one just a little bit longer, because you want the dimensions to be right. Is what you want. So that's what you have. Okay, now we're going to trim it out, just like this is trimmed out here. See how it's trimmed out like that? Same thing with this one. This one's trimmed out just a little bit different. As you can see, this is more plain, but I really like how it builds out just like it do the cross. I'm going to show you how to do that. Razor. So you don't need much at all, because you're just going to trim it out from right here. So you need a real thin cut, just like that. Real thin cuts, because that's all we're doing is just trimming it out. You want to come to a point. You're only going to need 4 pieces for the edges. So you just cut your center pieces. So all together you're going to be cutting 6 pieces all together. You can make the inserts of the cross just a little bit smaller. So, as you see, now you've got all the cuts that you need. This side of the way. That's for the center pieces. That's for the edges. 2 edges, top part. All right, so now we're going to trim it out to where it looks something like this. So what you do, just the opposite though. You start with the fat part. You don't want it too fat, because you don't want to overshadow the trim or the cross. But you put it right there at the tip, right? Right there at the tip. You gotta make sure the glue is steadfast and holds for a minute, right? And then what you do, you just start wrapping the edge of the cross. Right? Build it up. See what I'm doing? Crossing me out here. Right there at the edge, right? Hold it. Make sure it's secure. And all you do is just wrap it. See that? Just wrap. You want to build it out just like you did the other one. Just build it out real gradually. See how you're building it out and it gets wider and wider? I just think it just has a real nice look to building it out. So, see how you got that look right there? On each piece, right? And that. Started, build it up a couple of times, and then gradually, real gradually, I'm not sure you can see that right there. Gradually, it's just building out. Not much, not like your crosses, but ever so slightly. Ever so slightly, just building it out to where it has another dimension. Sure. Sometimes you can put two pieces on the bottom, only because you want it to have that dimension, that one dimension there. You got the middle. You got the two pieces cut in the middle. Okay, same thing. You got it just like that. And you got it wrapped. And when you cut it thin like that, what happens, it almost gives it a rope look, because it gets thinner and thinner. And so when you stain it, especially when you stain it with the wood color, it looks like grains of wood that have been carved. But then again, it's all paper. Put the piece there. Get the last piece, right? See all that? You're wrapping it around. There you go. Straighten it up. And if it's a little bit too long like that, right? Look at it's a little bit too long. Right? That's a little bit too long. But you can go ahead and press it in, because you got it beveled, right? You press it in to where you got your dimensions where they look right. If these are a little bit out, you can press this in just a little bit. See? Press that in just a little bit. Right there. So you got a nice tighter fit. Same thing here. You just press up a little bit. And there you go. Now you've got your cross with the little loop at the top. And what you do, you'd have you cut your beads, right? And also you'd cut your trim beads. So everything comes together like this. And what you want to try to do, this is magazine paper right here, right? This is colored paper. And so what we've done is we used the magazine paper. And you can color all different types of paper, but what you want to try to do is at the most keep 3 basic colors, if not just 2 colors. But with this one here, what we've done, we've used the magazine color and trimmed it out, right, in blue. So we added the blue beads, and then to highlight it, right, we've added some like shell beads. It looks like shells, but they're not. That's all paper, as you know. So the style looks like this, and that's the style we're looking at. That's the style we want for our necklaces, right? So these are the beads. Little small bead, another bead, then a real small bead, then a basic size bead there, right? Then in the middle, we break it up with a bead like this, with these 2 beads accented. Then we break it up and put a bead like this with the color in it. All right, coming all the way back up. Same style all the way up. So what happens is you got a necklace that looks just like this. But that style is very, very popular. All right, very, very popular. You can mix it up all kinds of ways though. Okay, this is the big cross. Now, like I said, this cross right here, right? This cross right here is going to be for necklaces, and that's right at 2 inches, right, by 1 inch. That's the size you want your cross. Now, this is for bracelets, right? So this one, right, is right at 1 inch by almost a little over 1/2 inch. So that's what you want. But I showed you how to make a big cross, but you just have to make your dimensions a little bit smaller. You have to cut your paper in half for this right here. When you do these crosses are fine. But I showed you how to make a big cross to show you how to wrap it and to make the cross. You'll have to cut your dimensions and make sure you do that right. All right. This is just another style. We're going to be using a lot of wood colors, like I said, and trimming this out. So, like I said, this one doesn't even have the color in it. So it's just mixed up right there. We got some black. See how the one piece right here with 2 blacks. So you'll find your style and what people like, but that's what people like. People like color, but what's real popular right now is the wood color. All right? So, that's it. Show you how to make the cross.